Solo leveling begins with a question. What happens when the weakest hunter alive refuses to stay that way? Mocked, ignored, and nearly killed time after time, Sung Jin-Woo wasn't just weak, he was disposable. But beneath his helpless exterior, we meet a protagonist whose true power is his unshakable will. In Season 1, it isn't just a power fantasy, it's a psychological survival story. A ruthless evolution where death is not just a threat, it's a teacher. This is the story of a man who didn't ask for strength, he was chosen by it. But the cost? Isolation, blood, and control over death itself. Before he becomes the most feared hunter in the world, Sung Jin-Woo was something much worse than weak. He was forgettable. In the world of solo leveling, power defines worth, and E rank? That's not just low, it's disposable. Jin-Woo isn't just the weakest hunter. He's seen as a liability, a joke, a man so fragile other hunters rejoice in his arrival because it should be an easy dungeon since he is there. He doesn't fight to become great, he fights to afford his mother's hospital bills, to make sure his sister stays in school, and he does it knowing that every raid could be his last. This isn't a flashy dream, it's desperation. Jin-Woo's story begins not with ambition, but sacrifice. The kind no one notices until it's too late. In the hunter system, it's cruel. Guilds use weak hunters like bait, they exploit them to meet quotas, maximize profit, and if they die, well, less to split. Solo leveling builds a world where the strong are worshipped and the weak are discarded. It's capitalism as monster hunting, and Jin-Woo is just the intern. But everything changes in the double dungeon. A hidden chamber, ancient statues, and commandments carved into stone. Not just rules for survival, but metaphors for the entire world Jin-Woo lives in. Worship the god, blind obedience. Praise God, worship the strong. Prove your faith, unquestioned sacrifice. This isn't just a raid gone wrong, it's a symbolic execution. This double dungeon's twisted interpretation leaves the party scrambled, frantic, and by the end, everyone is dead or gone, except him. And just when death seems inevitable, the system speaks. No warning, no explanation, just one question. And it's not a reward, it's not even a rescue, it's a challenge. A deal offered to the one still breathing. That choice to keep going when there's nothing left, that's what makes Jin-Woo different. Not talent, not potential, just will. From this moment on, Jin-Woo's life no longer belongs to society's rules, it belongs to the system, and the system doesn't care about mercy. After the double dungeon, something changes. Jin-Woo isn't just alive, he's selected, but not by fate, not by God, by the system. And the system doesn't explain itself. It doesn't offer guidance or purpose, it gives him a single directive: survive, or die trying. From the start, it's clear. The system isn't a mentor, it's a drill sergeant. If Jin-Woo doesn't complete his daily quests, he's thrown into a punishment realm where potential death is constant. There are no shortcuts, no power-ups, no forgiveness. Every step forward is paid for in sweat, blood, and will. This is where solo leveling breaks away from traditional shonen stories. Jin-Woo doesn't find allies or a squad. He doesn't level up through camaraderie or mentorship. He levels up alone. Not because he wants to, but because he has to. His training isn't flashy, it's methodical, ruthless, efficient. He's not chasing strength for glory, he's trying to never be weak again. And slowly, something shifts. He stops hesitating, his movements sharpen, his breathing calms, and more importantly, he starts to believe in himself. The stats we're raising aren't just numbers, they're a reflection of his mindset. A man who used to flinch now walks forward without fear. But the world hasn't caught up yet. To them, Jin-Woo is still just a background character, a weakling, lucky to be alive. And this is where the fantasy begins to bloom. The catharsis of underestimation, the quiet thrill of watching someone ignored become someone impossible to ignore. But strength comes with a cost. The stronger he becomes, the more distant he feels from the world around him. He lies about his growth, hides his skills, because in a world ruled by rank, too much strength becomes its own kind of danger. To the public, he's still weak, but to the few who are watching closely, Jin-Woo is becoming something else entirely, a force outside of their control. And despite everything, Jin-Woo still saves people, he still risks his life, but unlike before, it's no longer out of duty, it's choice. It's what sets him apart from the monsters he's growing closer to. Strength has made him quiet, it's made him efficient, but it hasn't made him cruel. And then, the final door opens. The system has prepared one more trial, or for the season at least. Not for his body, but for his identity. All season long, Jin-Woo fought to survive, but the job change dungeon isn't about survival, it's about transformation. No guild, no healers, no help. This is the final test, where the system decides what kind of hunter he truly is. Here, the monsters don't stop coming. The penalty is death, the reward, a job class. The very identity he'll carry into the world. But this isn't about choosing a role, it's about being chosen. And then, it happens. The moment everything changes. Of all the classes the system could offer, warrior, assassin, mage, it grants him the one class that feels like fate, a necromancer. But darker. Maybe a king of shadows? Because what else could he be? A man who's walked among corpses, who's lost everyone, who's survived dungeons built to kill gods. Death doesn't care. Death doesn't scare him anymore. Now, it listens. Before he earns his title, he has to earn respect. The battle with Igris is a silent war, one between Jin-Woo and who he is and who he's becoming. And when Igris kneels, he doesn't beg, he pledges, not to a master, but to a monarch. This isn't a partnership, it's coronation. Jin-Woo no longer needs allies, he creates them. Where others lose comrades in battle, he builds legions. But what looks like strength is built on trauma. Every shadow he commands is a graveyard of his past. Enemies defeated, allies lost, emotions buried. He doesn't resurrect for mercy, he resurrects for control. Season 1 ends, not with celebration, but with silence. Jin-Woo leaves the job change dungeon as something unrecognizable. He's not just stronger, he's a sovereign, not beholden to rank, guild, or government. He belongs to no one, and no one can control him anymore. Solo Leveling Season 1 is the birth of a legend, not because Jin-Woo was chosen by destiny, but because he endured when no one believed in him. The system didn't save him, it forged him. And now, he doesn't just walk into dungeons, he quite literally walks through them. The world still thinks he's weak, but next season, they'll learn what it means to kneel before the man who commands death itself. Thank you for watching this analysis into Season 1 of Solo Leveling. If you enjoyed this breakdown, I'll be covering Jin-Woo's continued rise in Season 2. Comment, like, subscribe. I'm the Story Sage, and every great fiction has deeper truths.